In a quiet village nestled near the hills of Enugu, Cha lived a life filled with both hope and hidden struggles. The village, rich in culture and tradition, was a close-knit community where everyone knew each other. Cha, a humble young woman, spent her days working at the village palm oil factory. Though her life wasn't one of luxury, she found joy in the simplicity of her world. Yet, deep inside, her heart ached with a secret love. She was in love with Nidu, a young man she had known since childhood. They spent hours together by the river, dreaming of a future where they could build a home of their own. Their love was genuine, built on trust and shared aspirations. But Char's life was not entirely her own. Her father, Okafor, a stern man who valued tradition above all, had already decided on a different future for her. Nidu, though from a family of farmers, had always been different. His curiosity and intelligence set him apart. He was not satisfied with the simple life his family had lived for generations. He spent every spare moment reading books he borrowed from the village's small library, dreaming of a better future. Despite their humble beginnings, he always spoke of creating a business and elevating the lives of those around him. Cha admired his ambition, and they often spoke about their dreams of a future where they could escape the struggles of their small village and live a life of purpose. They would meet by the riverbank, a place that became their sanctuary, where they could be themselves away from the eyes of the world. They would share stories of their childhood, laugh at old memories, and talk about the life they envisioned. But despite their deep love for one another, they both knew the realities of their situation. Char's father, Okafor, had always made it clear that he would decide who his daughter would marry. In his eyes, the most important thing was ensuring that Cha married someone who could provide her with a secure future. Nidu's dreams of a better life, no matter how noble, could not guarantee the wealth or status that Okafor thought were crucial. One afternoon, as the sun set over the village, casting an orange glow over the huts, Cha received a letter from her father. Her hands trembled as she read the words, each sentence a blow to her heart. Okafor had arranged for her to marry a man named Erisco, a wealthy businessman from a neighboring village. Erisco's family had long been influential and his wealth was well known. He was a stranger to Cha, but to her father, he was the perfect match. The day she received the letter, Cha's mind was in turmoil. She sought solace in Nidu, running to the riverbank where they first met. Her heart ached as she sat beside him, trying to find the words to explain the impossible situation she now faced. Nidu, she said softly, her voice trembling. My father, he wants me to marry Erisco. He says it's for the best. Nidu listened quietly, his heart heavy with the pain of hearing her words. What will you do, Cha? He asked, his voice filled with sadness. I don't know, she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. I love you, Nidu, but I cannot disobey my father. He is the head of our family, and tradition demands that I respect his wishes. For weeks, Cha wrestled with the decision. She wanted to stand by Nidu, to follow her heart, but the weight of tradition and her father's pressure were too great. Erisco visited the village several times, bringing gifts and making promises of a bright future. He was kind and gentle, and although Cha did not love him, she began to feel a sense of obligation. In the end, Cha made the hardest decision of her life. She told Nidu that she could not continue their relationship, that she had to marry Erisco for the sake of her family's honor and security. Nidu, though heartbroken, promised her that he would wait for the day when they could be together again. But deep down, Cha knew that day would never come. She had given in to her father's wishes, leaving behind the love she held for Nidu in favor of a future dictated by duty. The wedding day arrived, and the village was alive with excitement. Cha wore a traditional gown adorned with beads and intricate patterns that symbolized her family's heritage. As she walked down the aisle toward Erisco, the weight of the moment was almost too much to bear. The villagers cheered, but Cha's heart felt heavy with regret. She tried to smile, to show her happiness, but it was all a facade. Erisco was a good man, but he could never replace Nidu. He tried his best to be kind and thoughtful, showering Cha with gifts and ensuring she had everything she could possibly want. He provided her with a comfortable home, and their life together was filled with material wealth. But as the days turned into months, Cha's sorrow deepened. The love she had once shared with Nidu was irreplaceable, and no amount of wealth or comfort could ease the longing she felt inside. In the years that followed, Cha and Erisco had children. They were a beautiful family, and Cha did her best to be a good mother. But in the quiet moments when she was alone, her thoughts often drifted back to Nidu. She secretly sent money to him, hoping to help him achieve his dreams. She heard whispers of his success in the city, where he had started his own business and was beginning to make a name for himself. Despite the passage of time, her feelings for him remained unchanged. One day, after many years of separation, Nidu returned to the village. He had become a successful businessman, and his return was met with awe and admiration. He was no longer the young man she had once known by the riverbank, but someone who had built a life for himself. He was determined to rekindle their lost love, and Cha could not resist the pull of her heart. They met secretly, their conversations filled with the same dreams they once shared, but their reunion did not go unnoticed. Risco, though he had always been kind to Cha, began to suspect something. One afternoon, he confronted her. "Cha," he said, his voice shaking with hurt, "I know about Nidu. I know the truth. The children we have together, they are his, aren't they?" Cha's heart shattered as the truth came to light. Erisco, devastated by the betrayal, fell ill. The guilt and pain of their secret destroyed him. Cha tried to comfort him, but it was too late. Their marriage, once built on the hope of a future together, was now in ruins. The village, once filled with admiration for Cha and her family, turned against her. The whispers of her betrayal spread like wildfire, and the villagers began to shun her. She returned to her father's house, now a broken woman, carrying the weight of the choices she had made. Her children, unable to forgive her, distanced themselves from her as well. The vibrant, hopeful young woman who had once dreamed of a better life was now a shadow of herself. Years passed, and the story of Cha, Nidu, and Erisco became a legend in the village. It was spoken of with a mixture of sorrow and caution, a tale of how love and tradition clashed, and how the consequences of a hidden love could destroy lives. The villagers spoke of it to their children, urging them to choose love over duty, to follow their hearts and not let tradition blind them to what truly mattered. Charles spent her days in solitude, reflecting on the choices she had made. She knew that she had lost her chance at true happiness. But as she walked along the riverbank, where she had once met Nidu all those years ago, she found a strange sense of peace. She had lived her life, and though it had been filled with pain, it had also been filled with love. Love that had shaped her in ways she could not deny. And so, the story of Cha lived on, a reminder to all who heard it that sometimes the greatest battles are fought not in the outside world, but in the heart.